Today we're working on the Z31 here. We're getting ready to drop the fuel tank and get the new fuel pump in.
And this is one of the first steps right here. We are going to remove this. There you go. We're going to remove these two plugs from their home. There we go. There we go. So we want to do that, and then all right. And then this is where it gets smelly, guys. Because right now we're breaking the seal to the fuel tank. This mounts in here, if you have a Z31. This mounts in right here. It's basically a shield for the fuel lines that come from the fill up area, and then the lines that bring fuel to the engine. But there's about, I think, 8 or 10 of these little 10mm bolts that hold it on, and then it just pops right off. And this one's disgusting, so we're gonna bring it outside and clean it. And by clean it, I mean throw it at the ground until the dirt comes off.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We're gonna pull off this plate right here. That's why I'm scrubbing this area, just to get all these bolts and shit clean, so we don't have so much debris like getting stuck in the threads and stuff. I'm gonna pull off all these brackets right here that are holding this on, and pull this line out, which is where the fuel tank fill-up location is. We got all the brackets that hold those unbolted. We got one of these straps unbolted, so you're gonna need a 10, 12, and 14mm socket to do all of this. If your car is correctly assembled, there'll be 4 bolts holding the fuel tank on each corner, but it looks like somebody already tried to do this, so there aren't any bolts on any of the corners. It's being held on by those straps, which you see one of them right there. So I'm working on the other one right now. 14mm socket doesn't fit. If you have an extra long one, that would work. But since we don't, what I'm gonna have to do is just use a flare nut wrench or just a normal hand wrench to get it, but it is a 14mm size. So you're gonna need 10, 12, and 14mm and a couple of Phillips screwdrivers to get all of this done. So for this install, I just figured out that you're gonna need a really long 14mm socket for the second bolt that holds the second strap on the left side of the car. This one is not long enough, so you're actually gonna have to go and get one that's probably like 3 inches long or so. That'll make it a lot easier. Yeah, all right. Oh, good thing this is rusted out. It's easier to get to the... Oh. There we go. Clamps off. This little hose right here has to come off. There's gonna be a lot of debris that comes off on it. Try not to get any inside the fuel tank and inside the hose or anything. There you go.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, there you go. Okay. It's the PB, baby.
Got it? Yep. All right, drop the tank.
All right, guys, tank.
This bitch is heavy.
All right, pull. There we go.
Maybe we can clean it off. Because this is pretty nasty. This is gross. There we go. Here comes the pump.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's so bad.
Can you grab a microfiber or something that we could lay this on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at that. No wonder it doesn't start. This is a new fuel pump versus the old fuel pump. Oh man, this is disgusting. We're definitely gonna have to
Let me get some gloves on.
Yeah, this is like dangerous at this point. So there's the old fuel. Most of it's turned into tar at this point. That is disgusting. So what we gotta do right now is we're gonna siphon this into a one of those. I guess we're doing a trip to Walmart right now, and we'll be right back because that's gotta go. We got the fuel pump out of the car. There's just a few bolts right there that you gotta take off. It's on this thing, it holds it into the tank. And then once you get it off, there are 3 bolts on each one of these kind of prongs here. You're gonna wanna take those off. And once you get those off, you are able to get the fuel pump out. But there's a bunch of wires here that we're trying to figure out. Yeah, this little hose right here.
Our new fuel pump actually comes with a replacement hose for that.
Yeah, and it has clamps. Oh, it stinks. It stinks so bad. I feel like we're gonna have cancer after filming this episode. We are cleaning the inside of the fuel tank right now. I did a whole bunch of research, and it honestly doesn't seem like there's any correct way to do this. Pretty much everyone says that you shouldn't do it with anything. Like, if you use acid, no acid. If you use vinegar, no vinegar. If you use water, no water. So, I just used a method that I found online. Honestly, I don't think you were ever meant to do this to anything. But, we have no choice because the fuel tank is absolutely disgusting. To give you an idea of what's inside of it, this came through the fuel siphon pump. So, yeah, that gives you an idea of what we're working with inside that fuel tank. So I'm using the Works. It's a toilet bowl cleaner, and I'm squirting it inside of this thing, and it's literally just dissolving the rust and the gunk inside of it. It's insane.
That shit works.
We are gonna end up flushing this out with water, and we'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. It's getting super late, so maybe we'll pull an all-nighter. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna squirt a bunch of this in there, flush it out with water, and see if there's anything else in there. Maybe we can get with like a toilet brush or some kind of shit like that, but I didn't want to do this. It's crazy though, this entire thing was black with gunk on the inside, and then now you can actually see like the bare metal. It's pretty cool.
That did not look like that before at all.
Yeah, it was just black gunk, like a half-inch thick layer of it too.
This is probably the most entertaining thing I've seen Brian do.
Okay. What do you do if you live in a shop? We have no choice. That is terrible. Alright guys, so I've got the fuel pump assembly back in the tank. I was so focused on this, I ended up not recording it, but basically what I did was snip the old wires and cut a little bit off the ends of the old and the new wires from the new fuel pump, put them together. Then I put a new little fuel hose on there, bolted the whole assembly back together, put the fuel pump back in. I apologize for not recording it, but there's some videos online that you guys can watch to see a detailed version of that. It's pretty easy. It's just the reverse of taking the old fuel pump out and put the new one back in. So we're gonna put it back on and see if we can start this thing tonight. All right, so I wasn't able to finish the filming the rest of the install for you guys, unfortunately, because everyone ended up dipping. I ended up having to do it myself. So I got it done, the fuel tank's on. It's strapped back in, that's back on. Everything's good to go. I just need to find this fuel filter. New fuel filter is in, and we're gonna push it out right now and see what happens.
Oh my gosh.
Ready to start it. Let's see what happens. It's been a couple days since we tried to start the Z. We got the fuel pump in, the fuel pump primes, everything seems to work, but it didn't start. And I think the reason for that is a line in here. You can't really see it, but there is a fuel line back there, and every time we prime the pump, it starts to leak a little bit. And I think the reason that it doesn't start is because that fuel line is leaking. So we got to replace that, and then hopefully it'll start after that. We're gonna go, pretty much we're getting into the troubleshooting phase. We know we have spark, we know we have power, we know that it just needs to get fuel into the motor somehow. So that's where we're at right now, and I'm gonna end that video here, but first, we put a new bumper on the Outback. It's the JDM Legacy bumper. It's the bumper from the BR9 Legacy touring wagon in Japan, and that's pretty much what we're working on next for the Outback. It's getting a full Legacy front end. I ordered a bunch of other stuff, grill, fog lights, all that good stuff is coming in pretty soon. So look forward to that video in the near future, and I'm gonna end it here. We'll see you guys in the next Z video. Hopefully it'll be running in the next one. So peace out.
ありがとうございます。